Mrs. Doubtfire was released in 1993, making it 32 years or more than 3 decades ago until this reference year of 2025. The world then was one of dial-up internet and fewer screens, a much different landscape than the digital age we live in now. The clothes and cars of the time feel simple and far away, but the emotion of a fractured family still feels familiar today. The film tells the story of an imaginative but recently divorced father who creates an elaborate disguise as an elderly female housekeeper to spend time with his children. The film blended strong comedy with a difficult subject, making it a favorite for many families who saw it. It captured a moment in the early 1990s when divorce was becoming more common in cinema. In this documentary, we revisit the cast and see where they are today in 2025. Robin Williams was born on July 21, 1951, in Chicago, Illinois, and was 42 years old when Mrs. Doubtfire was released in 1993. He played the dual role of Daniel Hillard, a voice actor and father whose irresponsible behavior leads to divorce, and Mrs. Euphegenia Doubtfire, the elderly, no-nonsense British nanny he invents to spend time with his children. The character of Daniel is a man of immense creative spirit but little discipline, while Mrs. Doubtfire is his completely controlled opposite, a person who helps him mature. The director, Chris Columbus, was very keen on casting Williams due to his improvisational talent, and Williams reportedly had nearly 30 takes for some scenes because of the different ways he would deliver lines. A notable behind-the-scenes fact is that Williams tested the believability of his complete Mrs. Doubtfire makeup by walking into a store near the set, and he was not recognized by anyone. His career before the film was already legendary, spanning from his breakout role as the alien Mork in the TV sitcom Mork and Mindy to dramatic, acclaimed film roles in Good Morning, Vietnam and Dead Poets Society, which earned him Academy Award nominations. After Mrs. Doubtfire, Williams continued his successful career in family films like Jumanji and animated features like Aladdin, while also pursuing complex dramatic work such as Good Will Hunting, which earned him his only Academy Award win for Best Supporting Actor. He struggled with substance abuse and periods of depression at different points in his career, which he often spoke about publicly. Williams received a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Motion Picture Musical or Comedy for this role, among other awards. His personal life included 3 marriages, and he was a dedicated philanthropist, especially with his longtime friend Billy Crystal through Comic Relief. Robin Williams passed away on August 11, 2014, in Paradise Key, California, at the age of 63, with the cause of death being ruled as suicide by hanging, following a struggle with Lewy body disease. His performance as Daniel and Mrs. Doubtfire still matters today as a profound exploration of parenthood, divorce, and the power of love, becoming one of his most iconic and beloved character studies. Sally Field was born on November 6, 1946, in Pasadena, California, and was 46 years old when she played the role of Miranda Hillard in Mrs. Doubtfire. Miranda is the career-focused and organized mother and successful interior designer who ultimately files for divorce from her chaotic husband, Daniel. Her character is strict but loving, a person who seeks stability for herself and the children after years of being unable to rely on Daniel. Field was highly sought after for the role due to her established history as a respected dramatic actress, bringing a necessary grounding presence to Williams's comic performance. The director and producers wanted a strong performer who could hold her own against Williams's powerful improvisation. A real behind-the-scenes fact is that during the scene where Mrs. Doubtfire's cake face melts into her tea, the original script did not include Miranda's reaction. Field improvised the moment where she pulls the teacup away in disgust. Before Mrs. Doubtfire, Field was a celebrated actress, known for her early TV roles in Gidget and The Flying Nun, which she later struggled to move past, leading to a long period of training at the Actors Studio. Her career transitioned into dramatic film stardom with Oscar-winning performances in Norma Rae and Places in the Heart. After the film, her career continued successfully, starring in the immediate hit Forrest Gump as the title character's mother, despite only being 10 years older than her on-screen son, Tom Hanks. Later notable roles included appearances in ER, for which she won an Emmy Award, and her powerful turn as Mary Todd Lincoln in Lincoln. about struggles with body image and anxiety, which she addressed in her 2018 memoir. She has received 2 Academy Awards, 3 Primetime Emmy Awards, and 2 Golden Globe Awards, among many other honors. As of 2025, Sally Field is 78 years old and continues to work in film and television, maintaining her status as an industry veteran. Her portrayal of Miranda still matters today because she provided the emotional anchor for the film, showing the difficult perspective of the parent seeking necessary boundaries during a painful divorce. Pierce Brosnan was born on May 16, 1953, in Drogheda, County Louth, Ireland, and was 40 years old at the time of the film's release. He played Stuart "Stu" Dunmeyer, a charming, wealthy, and successful man who is Miranda's new boyfriend and Daniel's rival for the family's attention. Stu is essentially the responsible opposite of Daniel, a gentlemanly figure who initially seems flawless, making him a perceived threat by the children and the catalyst for Daniel's intense jealousy. Brosnan's casting was intentional, as the director needed an actor with a strong, sophisticated presence who could genuinely be seen as a worthy romantic rival to Sally Field's character. Brosnan reportedly stated that he never really felt like he worked with Robin Williams, but only with Mrs. Doubtfire, due to the complete and convincing nature of Williams's transformation on set. Before Mrs. Doubtfire, Brosnan was primarily known for his popular television role as the title character in the detective series Remington Steele, which ran from 1982 to 1987, and for a few earlier film roles. He had also famously been considered for James Bond in the 1980s, but was prevented from taking the role due to his television contract. His career exploded immediately following Mrs. Doubtfire when he officially took on the iconic role of James Bond in GoldenEye in 1995, a role he held for 4 films, achieving global superstardom. Post-Bond, he successfully transitioned back to diverse roles in films like The Matador, earning him a Golden Globe nomination, and the blockbuster musical Mamma Mia. Brosnan has faced personal struggles, most notably the loss of his first wife, Cassandra Harris, and his adopted daughter, Charlotte, both to ovarian cancer. He was nominated for 2 Golden Globe Awards across his career. As of 2025, Pierce Brosnan is 72 years old and remains a very active actor and producer in the film industry. His role as Stu still matters today as the necessary obstacle that forced Daniel to confront his behavior, pushing the film's central conflict forward with suave credibility. Lisa Jakub was born on December 27, 1978, in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and was 14 years old when Mrs. Doubtfire was released. She played Lydia Hillard, the eldest child and daughter of Daniel and Miranda. Lydia is a sensitive teenager who is caught in the middle of her parents' difficult divorce, often acting as a reluctant mediator and showing clear distress over the separation. Jakub was cast because of her ability to portray the complex emotional turmoil of a teenager dealing with family change, bringing a realistic gravity to the child dynamic. A documented behind-the-scenes fact is that Jakub was actually expelled from her Toronto high school for the extended absence required to film the movie. Robin Williams wrote a letter to the school requesting they reconsider, but the school did not relent. Before this film, Jakub had appeared in a few minor television and film roles, including the film Rambling Rose in 1991. After Mrs. Doubtfire, she continued to act in notable films, most prominently as Alicia Cass in the sci-fi action film Independence Day in 1996 and in the TV movie Picture Perfect. Jakub made a conscious decision to retire from acting in 2001 at the age of 22, citing the struggle with the fame and the emotional toll of the industry. Following her retirement, she moved to Virginia, married, and earned a degree in sociology from the University of Virginia. She later found a second career as a writer, authoring 2 nonfiction books, including the autobiography You Look Like That Girl. As of 2025, Lisa Jakub is 46 years old and works as an author and a qualified Kripalu yoga teacher, focusing on mental health advocacy. Her role as Lydia still matters today as the essential audience surrogate, reflecting the confusion and heartbreak many older children feel when their parents' marriage ends. Matthew Lawrence was born on February 11, 1980, in Abington, Pennsylvania, and was 13 years old when he took on the role of Chris Hillard in the 1993 film. Chris is the middle child and only son, a mischievous boy who initially struggles academically and openly resists the idea of his parents' divorce. He is the first of the children to realize Mrs. Doubtfire's true identity, which establishes a secret connection between him and his father. Lawrence, who is already acting, was cast to provide the relatable energy of a troubled but good-hearted adolescent. A real behind-the-scenes fact is that Lawrence has mentioned that the experience of working with Robin Williams and the on-set fun helped make the long hours of filming more enjoyable, describing Williams as incredibly warm and present. Before Mrs. Doubtfire, Lawrence had already been a working child actor, known for his early roles on the TV show Dynasty and a voice role in the animated series Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. His career after the film saw a major upswing, especially on television, where he was a main cast member on the sitcom Brotherly Love, alongside his real-life brothers, Joey and Andrew, and later took on the role of Jack Hunter in the popular series Boy Meets World. He continued to work steadily in films like The Hot Chick, and later reprised his Boy Meets World role on the sequel series Girl Meets World. Matthew Lawrence has spoken about the challenges of transitioning from child star to adult actor and the importance of family support during that period. His professional work is often shared with his brothers, as they later launched a joint podcast centered on rewatching their old sitcom. As of 2025, Matthew Lawrence is 45 years old and continues to act, often alongside his brothers, and works as a podcaster. His role as Chris still matters today because he embodies the typical, sometimes difficult, male adolescent reaction to parental separation, providing a crucial bridge between the parents and the younger sister. Mara Wilson was born on July 24, 1987, in Burbank, California, and was only 6 years old when she played Natalie Hillard, the youngest of the Hillard children. Natalie is sweet-natured, naive, and the most deeply affected by the loss of her father's daily presence. Her character functions as the emotional innocent of the family, often clinging to the comforting idea of a reunited family, which is why she is the most receptive to Mrs. Doubtfire's constant attention. Wilson was a newcomer to film, having previously only done a few commercial appearances, and was cast for her natural warmth and expressiveness. A real behind-the-scenes fact is that the scene where Mrs. Doubtfire helps Natalie with a homework problem by putting chopsticks in her hair was an improvisation by Robin Williams, inspired by a cut scene where Daniel makes the kids laugh in a similar way. Her career as a child star skyrocketed immediately after Mrs. Doubtfire, leading to the lead role in the Holliday film Miracle on 34th Street the following year, and then the title role in the beloved adaptation of Roald Dahl's Matilda in 1996. After a few more films, she retired from acting in 2000 at the age of 13. Wilson later became a writer and playwright, openly discussing the pressures and anxieties of being a child star in her memoir, Where Am I Now? True stories of girlhood and accidental fame. She was recognized as the Show West Award Young Star of the Year in 1995. Wilson has spoken publicly about her struggles with anxiety and depression, and how stepping away from the spotlight was necessary for her mental health. As of 2025, Mara Wilson is 37 years old and primarily works as an author and voice actress, lending her voice to various web series and animated shows, including a recurring role on the podcast Welcome to Night Vale. Her role as Natalie still matters today because she represents the pure, uncomplicated love of a child for a parent, highlighting what Daniel was fighting so desperately to keep. Robert Prosky was born on December 13, 1930, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and was 62 years old at the time of the film's release. He played Mr. Lundy, the judge presiding over Daniel and Miranda's custody hearing. The function of his character is to act as the legal and moral arbiter of the divorce, representing the cold, hard reality of the law that Daniel must obey, but also delivering the final, compassionate message about the nature of family. Prosky was a well-respected character actor who was cast to bring a sense of authority and gravitas to the pivotal court scenes, which he delivered with a quiet but firm dignity. A documented behind-the-scenes fact about Prosky is that he was a highly accomplished stage actor with a long-term affiliation with the Arena Stage in Washington, D.C., where he performed over 130 roles, a testament to his deep commitment to his craft. Before Mrs. Doubtfire, Prosky was known for his steady work in film and television, with notable supporting roles in films like Thief, The Natural, and receiving critical acclaim for his role in broadcast news. His television work included his popular run as SGT, Stan Jablonski, on the police drama Hill Street Blues. After the film, he continued his solid character work in movies such as Miracle on 34th Street with Mara Wilson, Dead Man Walking, and Mad City. Prosky was nominated for 2 Tony Awards for his work on Broadway for the plays Glengarry Glen Ross and A Walk in the Woods. Robert Prosky passed away on December 8, 2008, in Washington, D.C., just shy of his 78th birthday, from complications following a heart procedure. His performance as Judge Lundy still matters today because he gave the film's central message its official and serious weight, concluding the often zany story with an important and lasting lesson on the diverse forms a family can take. Harvey Fierstein was born on June 6, 1952, in Brooklyn, New York, and was 41 years old when he appeared in the film as Frank Hillard. Frank is Daniel's makeup artist brother, who, along with his partner Jack, uses his professional skills to create the elaborate Mrs. Doubtfire disguise for Daniel. His character is warm, supportive, and completely instrumental to the film's central premise, providing the means for Daniel's transformation and offering comic relief and emotional support. Fierstein was cast due to his distinctive voice and established persona in the theater world, lending a unique and essential quality to the helper role. A real behind-the-scenes fact is that Fierstein was not only an actor, but also an incredibly prolific and successful playwright, having already won 2 Tony Awards for his play Torch Song Trilogy and a Tony for the book of the musical Larkage Orks Falls. Before this film, Fierstein was already an icon in the theater community, winning a Tony for acting and 2 for writing, making him one of the few people to win Tony Awards as both a performer and a writer. His film roles before Mrs. Doubtfire included the film adaptation of his play Torch Song Trilogy and a memorable voice role as Carl on The Simpsons. His career after the film continued across multiple mediums, with a notable role in Independence Day alongside Lisa Jakub and as the voice of Yao in Disney's Mulan. Fierstein is the first openly gay actor to win a Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play and was later inducted into the American Theatre Hall of Fame. As of 2025, Harvey Fierstein is 73 years old and continues to write and perform on stage, including receiving a Lifetime Achievement Tony Award. His role as Frank still matters today as he provided the technical magic that enabled the entire plot, while also delivering a strong, positive, and humorous representation of unconditional family support. Holliday was born on July 2, 1937, in Jasper, Alabama, and was 56 years old when she played the supporting role of Gloria Cheney. Gloria is Miranda's no-nonsense, straightforward, and supportive friend, often acting as a sounding board for Miranda's frustrations about Daniel and the divorce. Her character functions as a voice of skeptical reality and tough love for Miranda, encouraging her friend to find stability. Holliday was a recognizable television actress who was cast to provide a familiar and comforting presence, balancing out Miranda's intensity. A documented behind-the-scenes fact is that before achieving national fame on television, Holliday had a strong career in regional theater, notably with the Asolo Repertory Theater in Florida. Before Mrs. Doubtfire, Holliday was most famous for her iconic role as the abrasive waitress Flo in the sitcom Alice, a role that made her a household name and earned her 2 Golden Globe Awards and 4 Primetime Emmy Award nominations. She also appeared in a number of films and stage productions before the 1993 comedy. After the film, Holliday continued to work in character roles on stage and screen, appearing in films like Mr. Destiny and on various television shows. Throughout her career, she has been recognized for her distinct Southern voice and strong character portrayals, receiving various nominations for her work in Alice. As of 2025, Holliday is 87 years old, having largely stepped away from major film roles in recent years, though her television legacy remains strong. Her role as Gloria still matters today because she offered a grounded perspective on the difficulties of divorce, making Miranda's feelings and decisions feel more realistic and relatable within the comedic chaos. The decades since the release of Mrs. Doubtfire have shown the enduring human stories of its cast, charting personal evolutions and long-term professional journeys. The young actors found their paths, some choosing private lives as writers and educators, while others continued to build careers on screen and stage. The adult leads maintained their established stardom, taking on new challenges and cementing their legacies in cinema history. We remember with calm fondness the incredible talent of Robin Williams, whose vibrant spirit and deep humanity powered the film's unforgettable core, and whose loss is still felt in the film community. We also honor the quiet reliability of late performers like Robert Prosky and Anne Haney, whose supporting roles were essential to the film's success. The film remains relevant today because its central theme, a parent's unconditional, sometimes clumsy, love, is timeless. The Hillard family, in all their comedic mess, continues to live in the viewer's memory, a reminder that love will always find a way to bind a family, no matter the circumstances.